Tonight, more than 1,500 people filling the Louisville Palace in downtown Louisville to watch the screening of a documentary called Beyond the Bridge, a solution to homelessness.
My name is Natalie Harris, and I'm the executive director at the Coalition for the Homeless, and we are part of an effort called Home for Good that has gotten together in support of the mayor's efforts to increase permanent supportive housing. Most of us who have done that work got together because we saw this movie, and it gave us the hope that we needed to know that we could do this in Louisville too.
Thank you all very much for having us. This is amazing. It's an amazing venue. Can I get real with you for 1 second? Okay, all right. So we go to communities and there's this finger-pointing death match of blame being assigned for the existence of homelessness in communities. Homelessness is nobody's fault. This is a massive systems design failure, and it's nobody's fault. You're about to see a couple of communities that look at these systems, this homeless response system, and they said, you know what, this sucks, we'll never win this way. And so they intervened into the system and made it make sense. And they did it in a way that you can do, and we're really behind you guys, and everywhere else can do it too.
I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. We all have a seat at this table.
We're unicorns! Milwaukee has the lowest homeless population per capita in the United States. The healthier our community is for every single one of our citizens, the healthier our economy is.
If you're going to be in public service, you might as well kick ass at it.
The only way to end homelessness is permanent housing with supportive services, period.
And that's what we do here in Houston. Enforcement does not reduce homelessness. No city has been able to reduce homelessness just through enforcement alone. And that's why we're so focused on housing here.
The mayor has to be at the table, engaged in the conversation, understanding what the different issues are. And quite frankly, the mayor has to be out there in the field.
Tonight, I'm thrilled to announce the creation of the Home for Good Task Force, led by Louisville Metro government, and will also have members who are leaders of our nonprofit partners, like the Coalition for the Homeless. Its first goal will be to house 250 more people experiencing chronic homelessness by 2027. We'll also hire a technical assistant to support the creation of our permanent supportive housing plan. And we'll hire a landlord coordinator to help those identified by our homeless engagement and response team find housing. So friends, we need your support. We need your effort. And I hope you'll join us in this partnership. Thank you all very much.
Thank you everyone for staying. We've had an inspiring movie, we've had a challenge, and now we have a panel. And in addition to Mayor Greenberg, I also want to reintroduce Don Sawyer from Bigger Vision Films. And introduce James Matthey and Eric Collins from Milwaukee County, who you also saw in the film. I'm going to start with Don, since he was one of the two people who created this film. What are the key things that happen in the cities that are able to reduce unsheltered homelessness?
The best interest of the people who are being served has to be in the hearts of the people who are creating the system. Because if that doesn't happen, then you get a whole lot of errant, bad analysis of what the problem is, because they're not looking at the people.
This one I'm going to start with Milwaukee. What is the secret sauce of coordinating so many different partners to make this all work?
Thank you all for coming today. I was talking to Don. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a lot of Don and Tim's showings. This might be one of the largest audiences I've ever seen. So I wanted to say that. We had a meeting with a lot of your business leaders here, had 46 different businesses show up to hear about this, and it's the largest amount we've ever seen. So tons of momentum around here, and it's really exciting. So to answer our question from Milwaukee, I think the biggest thing for us, we really believe that local government needed to take a leadership role and an active leadership role in these programs, running these programs, being held accountable, holding other people accountable. And it was easier for us to do that. We provide, under Eric's leadership, we provide direct services, but we're also the funder of all the homeless shelters, and we're the funder of all the case management agencies, and some folks need to do things a little differently, frankly. And it took us as a leadership to change those contracts, and for some agencies it became a little harder. We expected more of them, but for some agencies, instead of just being a homeless shelter, now they're a permanent housing provider and a case management agency and growing their revenue. But I think it was because us as local government leaders, we had kind of the political will and the political power, but also the funding to make all those improvements. So for us, it was really about local government being super active in these changes.
I think from an accountability standpoint was also holding ourselves accountable. That was huge for us. And one of the first things we did was establish a resident advisory council. So folks that we were serving on the street were part of all of the implementation, the programmatic planning, let us know what we were doing right and wrong. I think the core foundation of what we do in Milwaukee is housing focused. We believe firmly in PSH and supportive services. We think that's the only way to reduce homelessness. But also on a human level, our staff understood that the folks that we serve on the street, they want what we want. Peace, stability, contentment. It's not overly complicated. And I think when we established that human engagement and that rapport as well, that really pushed the policies forward.
Mayor Greenberg, what do you think are the benefits of expanding that housing message to permanent supportive housing?
Well, I think permanent supportive housing is critically important for the reasons that you saw in the film, for the reasons that you just heard about here today, and to combine a safe place to call home with services to help people have their life go in a more positive direction, to have new opportunities in life, to get stabilized, to get services, whether it's addiction services, mental health services, to help find an ID, whatever it might be, is critically important. And so we've been doing that, as I talked about just a moment ago, a little bit, but we need to do more. And so I'm really hopeful that this film is a catalyst. I think the enthusiasm that you all have seen from the city is that we are ready to take even bigger steps. We know we need to invest more. We know we need more support from the private sector to leverage with our commitments that we have made at the city government level and that we will continue to make moving forward to invest more in permanent supportive housing. I'm excited about doing that. We're ready to do that. This new task force, I think, will work greatly with Natalie and her colleagues at Coalition for the Homeless, many other partners who are here tonight. We want to do it in a coordinated way. And we need to focus on our areas of alignment and work together with one another towards these common goals that we all have, even if we don't always agree on the strategies.